I want to welcome you guys to this edition of Supernova Sales School. We're talking about how language can lead you to unlimited leads and clients. And it's a very powerful conversation for me because I realize that a lot of times as business owners, we go out marketing, we're not really thinking about the deep connection that linguistics has or the way that we say something has an effect on who we draw to us. And so I wanted to open up this conversation today to kind of share some nuances, not necessarily give you a script to talk about, but to share some nuances of language and what it means for you, how you present that to your clients in your marketing, in your Facebook posts, in your blogging, in your video, when you do your signature talk, when you do any marketing. What are the nuances, the subtle nuances that we sometimes don't think about that can make a huge difference and impact on someone saying yes to our offer or no to our offer, even in a sales conversation? Okay, so what I want to do, especially since we just had this heavy conversation right now, is I want to jump into the community and do some posting. Are you guys down with that? I need to go there myself. So one of the things that I was thinking about when I was thinking, well, what are we going to be posting today? And I actually didn't write some things down because something just told me, just go with what comes up for the day. And one thing that came up is that there is a quietness to us in the marketplace when we are unsure and unclear about who we serve and how to talk about it. And so what I want you guys to do right now is to jump into the community, and I want you to say, I am no longer staying silent, and I'm ready to play a bigger game. Can you do that? I am no longer staying silent. I'm ready to play a bigger game. Let me get over there so I can see. Silence doesn't mean you're not talking to the marketplace at all. It just means that you're not talking with the propensity and the capacity for which you have to reach people. That's what silence means. It means you're sort of hiding out in plain sight. It means people kind of know what you do, but maybe they don't get it, or maybe you don't tell them often enough, you're not making enough offers. So I want you to commit that today you're committed to no longer staying silent, and you want to play bigger in the marketplace. Let's see who's with me. Got you, Audrey. Today my computer just decides that it wants to do something totally different than normal. So here's what I want you to say. Think about who it is that you are here to serve. And for most of you, this training today will help you kind of solidify that. But I want you to say, I'm here to serve blank, and I'm not backing down. So I'm here to serve women who are struggling with money, and I'm not backing down. I see you, Verna. She's typing in chat. So I'm here to serve. Who are you here to serve? And I'm not backing down. What happened for me is that sometimes I would see somebody in the marketplace who did it, what I thought was exactly what I do, and they were using some of the language that I was using myself. They didn't get it from me. I didn't get it from them. It's what I felt like I was called to say. And so that caused me to be quieter, especially if I found that that person had a larger, bigger, more visible platform than I did. And that's one of the reasons why I'm asking you to type this. I'm here to serve, and whoever the demographic you are here to serve, in what capacity, whatever they struggle with, and I'm not backing down. Don't back down, because whoever is here to hear from you can only hear that message from you. Like whatever pain they're in, they can hear it over and over again. Have you guys ever been around, let's just say your parents tell you to do this, do this, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing, and you're just like, you don't hear it. And then you get some mentor or some other adult that comes into your life and they start saying this thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And your parents are like, I've been telling you that for 15 years. This is the same thing that I'm speaking of. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. You are someone's teacher. You are assigned to them. It is a divine appointment And when you are not speaking in the marketplace, they are not hearing. It doesn't matter that other people are saying the same thing. They're not ready to hear from them. They're open to hearing it from you. Got it? All right. So the last thing that I want you to type is that I'm open to receiving today. I'm ready to receive today, because I want you open and ready to receive what I have for you. I want you taking off the I've heard this before. I want you taking off the been there, done that, tried that, wore the t-shirt attitude, and really look, because if you're here today, it's not by accident. And whatever I'm saying, there is something in it, if not multiple things in it, that are meant for you to hear that you need to implement in order to take that next right action and that next right step. So I just want you to clearly and simply say, I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready to receive. I'm open to receive. I'm ready to get my lessons today. I'm going to refresh and see what's going on. All right. I see you, Audrey. I see you, Joe. I'm living loud and bold. You have been, actually. I've been watching you, doing way more video and stuff. That's cool. Awesome. All right. So you guys ready to jump in? So we're going to jump in. Here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to share my screen just to get started here. Let me find this and make it bigger. All right, I'm going to share my screen. If you don't have a pen and paper, I'm going to suggest that you grab one, because I'm going to be spitting knowledge like bars. I don't know where that came from. All right, I'm going to jump back up to the top. I was just working on this. So again, I'm talking to you about how language leads to unlimited leads. It's not just good enough to say, I'm a coach, I'm a financial advisor, I'm a web designer. We need to throw out all of those things and really focus on the language that we're using in order to draw in those clients who are assigned to us. So the first thing we're going to do is take a test. So this is one of the reasons why I want you to have a pen. I want you to look on this, and there's many more that can be here. The point of this is, how many of you are currently marketing and selling yourself across multiple fields of expertise? So you're like, I'm a web designer, I do copywriting. So when somebody looks at your website, or looks at a business card, or looks at a piece of collateral that you have for your business, they see multiple areas of expertise that you can help them with. Okay, how many of you are seeing that? If you are one person that has multiple areas of expertise that you focus in, I want you to type, yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. So I'm a lifestyle and business coach. I do Facebook ads, Pinterest, and all social media, right? I'm a health coach, but I can help you with eating disorders and eating disorders and losing weight. Whatever it is that you want to help with in that area, I can support you. If you are marketing yourself across multiple fields of expertise, I want you to type, yep, that's me. And then I want you to kind of think about it and think, how many items do you say you help with? So like Audrey, for you, are you saying you help with bookkeeping and help with, well, I guess bookkeeping and accounting is sort of the same thing. Actually, not really, but bookkeeping and accounting and tax services and this and that. So what are the multiple areas of expertise? Money management. If you have more than one, I want you to actually give me that number. So how many services are you offering? How many services are you offering? Let me see if I can see some numbers coming in. Oh, now you're looking at my screen. That's okay. I'm blocking the screen. Everybody selling one? Just one thing? Lots of chat going on. Let's see. So Verna says, no, I'm not offering multiple services, but I need to add life insurance products to my portfolio. Maybe, maybe not. We're going to talk about that today. Oh, Joe typed guilty. You're in chat. All right. All right, so I need you guys to write a number down. Write a number for me because we're going to add these up in a second. Write down a number. Okay, so here's the next area. How certain, close this, how certain are you that you can deliver a return on investment, a positive return on investment for every single one of those clients that you serve every single time? So if you're going to ask people for money, you have to be clear that you can deliver a result. So if you are very certain, right, that would be a 1. If you're not so sure, like you have no idea, like from one client to the next, you're like coming up with whatever you can come up with to figure out how to get them what they ask for, that would be a 10. And here's why I'm doing this. I realize that sometimes people are servicing people across multiple industries, and for every industry that you service, they have different processes, they have different lingo, and so you don't have a repeatable process at that point, because now you have to shift it and change it and mold it to fit that particular industry. Let's see what's going on in chat. 2 mostly, but copywriting does creep in. 3 for Verna. So how certain are you? Write that number down. And then I want you guys to add those numbers up. Add those numbers up. So you're adding, how many services are you offering? And then how certain are you that you can get a return on investment for every single one of those services or every single one of those clients in different industries or different areas of expertise? Does everybody have a number? Let me see if I can see faces here. I'm muted this thing. I need to pull it up. Does everybody have a number? All right, so if that number is more than 9, this is probably one of the reasons why your marketing language, your sales language, the language that you're using is not landing. Let's see. I'd rather you guys post in Facebook than in chat, but I can go back and forth through chat for those of you guys who can't. So if you don't know how to get to our Facebook group, it is, what is it? PowerPlayersLive.com. PowerPlayersLive.com is how you get there. Let me see what's going on here.
Sometimes when you're sharing your screen, you take over our whole computer. So depending on the size of people's computers, sometimes it's just easier to stay in chat, FYI.
That's interesting. Okay. Cool. Either one works, but I'd rather you post in the group. All right, so let me show you what this is how you know you're in a struggle mode here with your language, and it shows that you have no authority, right? Your level of authority is low. So if you scored higher than 3 on services, that means you're a jack of all trades. I have lots of typos in this. And jack of all trades, people who don't specialize in a specific area get paid less than a specialist. So I want you to begin to start thinking about how can you narrow down what you do so that you're not covering so many areas. The other thing is, if you're working with more than 3 different industries, then you're lacking a duplicatable process. It's what I was talking about earlier. For every industry, there's a different lingo. There's a different way that you would set things up. There's a different, maybe a different way to calculate the return on investment. And so if you can narrow it down to a specific type of industry, even within service-based businesses, if you can narrow it down to at least no more than 3, you should be okay. You'll be able to have a repeatable process that you can duplicate across the board and across the globe. The other one is, if you're a jack of all trades and you lack a duplicatable process, then you definitely lack absolute clarity. Because again, it's very, very hard to create a duplicatable process where you don't have to reword. Think about it this way. And I say this all the time when I'm saying focus in on one area of expertise. Where single moms hang out is different, where people who have been moms who have no children anymore, they hang out somewhere different, right? The language that they use to talk about their kids is different. The life cycle that they're going through to talk about their kids is different. So it's like that in all areas when you pick an industry or a type of client that you're focused on. So your language might not be landing because you're trying to capture too many groups of people. So you want to narrow it down to 3, no more than 3, and try to make those groups as closely related as you possibly can. Everybody with me? All right, so here are 6 telltale signs that your marketing's not working. 1, you have no idea where your next 20 clients are going to come from. You can't connect with your prospects because you can't get past their gatekeepers. To get people to hire you, you almost always have to lower your fees. Clients are staying for short stints of time, 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, 1 to 3 months, but they don't come back. You aren't confident about what your prospects really want and will invest in, and you don't know what actions to take that could get you clients because you're scattered, you're all over the place, right? So here's the opposite of that, where you start to get some clarity, and I'm going to teach you how to do that today. It's easy to find the people you serve because they naturally gather in groups. That's what I was just talking about. So you can easily find where to market your services because you can find what your market reads, the associations they belong to, where to find them on social media or business networking sites. It makes a huge difference in the question, where am I going to get my next 20 clients from? Because again, if we look at the moms thing, moms, stay-at-home moms with kids, and moms who have kids that are out of the home, they hang out in different places. They use different languages. So if you were using Facebook ads to reach out to them, one ad would reach one, but another ad would reach another. So it's very, very, very good idea to be very specific. The other thing is when you're very specific, they love to connect with you because they are seeking you out, right? And you have made yourself their champion. They're seeking for a solution, and you said, hey, I help with your problem. Your specific problem, specific to you, specific to your industry, and then you're giving them exactly what they want. Your clients will also willingly pay fees that compensate you well, and they're motivated to invest in the professional development of their language skills, and you know how to offer it to them in a way that they can relate to. Your clients also, at this point, they'll help you promote your programs and refer qualified clients to you, and you're staying focused on a specific self-identified group of people so that you know you can find out exactly what they care about the most. Let me open up the screen so I can share this with you. It's easy to find out what to sell your clients when you have the same group of clients in one singular place, because you start to see over and over again what language are they using to describe the problems that they're struggling with and that they're suffering from. In my Facebook group, I can see what you guys type in that says, hey, I'm having a problem with this. You know, I've seen over and over again that people are saying, hey, I'm going out and I'm doing speaking engagements, and then I'm getting people on the phone, but I'm not able to close. Well, sometimes that's just about who you're bringing to the call. And it's also about the language that you're using on the call. Is it more you focused? Or are you allowing them to talk? And then using what they tell you to help them to make a decision. When you have your one-on-one sales conversations with people, one of the reasons you're writing down what your clients say is their problem verbatim is so that you can gather statistics, so that you can begin to hear what are the recurring themes that every client is saying they're struggling with. That gives you your marketing language. That gives you how to sell to them, and also will ultimately tell you what type of program, course, or strategy you should be creating and putting out there, because those are the people you're drawing to you. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So yeah, we write down what they're saying verbatim so that we can use it in the conversation, but you should be able to go back through your sheets of notes from your past clients and look and see what are the recurring themes, what are the words that pop up most often when they describe the problem that they are experiencing. Because we have, as experts in authority, a different way that we look at their problem, right? They are looking at top of mind awareness symptoms, right? If I am having headaches, and I talk about this in the training, if I'm having headaches all the time, and let's say there is an expert on water filtration knowing that purified water or water with a pH level of 10 hydrates you better, right? They know I'm dehydrated. But if they get up and talk about their water filtration system, the only thing on my mind is I have a headache, so does somebody have an aspirin? But if they were to switch that language and to speak to the top of mind awareness symptoms, now they've got my attention, right? If you are fatigued all the time, if you experience chronic headaches, I have a solution for you. Let's talk. Now they've got my attention, and I may want to have that conversation with them. Whereas before it was like, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I have a headache. Where's the aspirin? They're speaking to my top of mind awareness. You must speak to your client's top of mind awareness, and the way that you get to know that is by paying attention to the language that they use. You guys with me? All right. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to jump to that real quick and then come back to how to get clients fast. So you hear people talk about sell without selling, right? How to sell without selling. You want to have what I call, instead of being pushy, like shoving business cards in people's faces, which I see people do this all the time, they walk around the room and they're like, take my card, where's yours? Take my card, where's yours? Instead of doing that, you want to attract clients to you. And I know that's kind of a buzzword. I have some notes here that I wanted to make sure that I said to you guys. And I know it's kind of a buzzword to say attract clients, but there is a way to have your ideal client searching you down. And one of those ways is to be very specific in who you serve, because now not only will those specific people track you down because they know you are the go-to person for that specific thing, for their specific industry, or for their specific problem, but also because other people will begin to send people your way, because every time they hear somebody that has that specific issue, they know that you are the one to solve that problem. It's not between you and 5 million other people or 10 other people who sort of do the same thing. Okay? Especially if you're in the coaching world or you're helping business owners. Because there's so much crossover, you really want to narrow your area of expertise. So you want to attract and not pull, but the thing you want to do the most is deliver value. Lots of times we think that delivering value means just work for free, work for free, work for free. That's not what that means. What you want to do is solve a problem that they have. So whether it's in your ebook, your webinar, your strategy session, whatever you're doing, you want to educate. You want to educate and solve a problem. That's what I put here. It's actually probably the only tip I ended up doing, but you want to educate. And what your education to your clients should be doing is not just talking about what you do, but it should be naturally building a deep desire to work with you. Your education should be naturally building a deep desire to work with you. So solve a problem. So you might have 4 or 5 problems that you know they need to solve. That first step of encountering with you, solve an entire problem. An entire problem. Like if you teach speaking, show them how to structure their talk. Give it away. Because you know there's more, right? They still need to know how to book gigs. They still need to know how to make an offer. So start thinking, am I educating? Are my freebies actually educating in the right way? Am I naturally building a deep desire to work with me? What else did I have here? That's it. All right. So, to me, there's a marriage between 2 components when it comes to language and talking about your business and sales. And it's this: There's a deep emotional connection and component to messaging, and then there's the strategic. And I think most of us have gotten enough, most of you guys have gotten enough to get the strategic part down. Like, you have a structure for a sales conversation. You know that you're supposed to market, and you get that you're supposed to educate, but we forget the deep emotional part of it. So I'm going to say this again, I say it all the time, is decisions in sales are made based on emotion and then backed up with the logic of the how-to. Decisions in sales are made based on emotion. So if you're trying to sell to people based on, I have this, I'm going to use Verna as an example. So Verna sells burial plots, like the actual grave sites. So she could go to people and say, hey, you need to do this because one day you're going to die and you're going to need a grave plot. Why not get it now? Why not make sure it's secure so your family doesn't have to worry about it when you pass away? And I just heard some background noise. Maybe it was me. But there's a different way that she can approach that conversation if she looks at the deep emotional connection to that whole strategy. And it all starts with picking that audience that she's going to serve. So for me, if that were me, I would be looking at people who have already had experience with losing a loved one and not being prepared. Because it's top of mind awareness to them that this is a situation we don't ever want to be in again. And all of my marketing would speak to that feeling of having to deal with that on top of having to grieve, and then sometimes having to wait to grieve until it's all over because you're so consumed with all the nuts and bolts of what's supposed to happen, putting a service together. Nothing was pre-planned. Because now you're connecting to that deep emotional side. Tap into what it is your clients really desire. Like, what's the deep desire? So Umwa, with branding, it's not just that people want to be branded and they want to have a good brand to put out there in the marketplace. It's that they really want to be seen and heard, and they want to be heard based on who they are in the purest way. And they want to be different from everybody else, and they don't want to be a copycat, right? Because they are a unique individual and they're not like everyone else. And so your language has to speak to that desire, as opposed to just saying, hey, you need to brand, because branding is a thing that's going to set your business apart. It's going to bring you more clients. You must talk to the deep desire or the loss. And that people are only motivated by two things: pain or pleasure. Write that down. They're only motivated by two things: pain or pleasure. If you're not marketing to either one of those, if your language is not speaking to the pain of the deep pain of the situation or the extreme pleasure of the situation, it's not going to land and it's not going to connect with your client. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to give you 5 steps to what I call authority messaging, which I've been glazing over it, but I want to go a little bit deeper in these 5 steps so that you're clear when you begin to talk, post, do a strategy session, whatever, your language hits and it hits home. Okay? So the first point in the messaging is you should have an exact person that you are speaking to. An exact person that you are speaking to. This is where niching down helps you so much. You should have an exact person that you're speaking to, because now you can speak their language. And I'm going to show you how this actually, the wrong way to do this is you can say, hey, you can be more healthy or be more successful. That's a broad stroking use of language. Of course, we all would want to be more healthy and more successful on some level, and that's true. But if you're dealing with something specific, if you get more specific, like, okay, maybe I'm not healthy and I'm not more successful, but the problem really is this: I'm not sleeping well at night. And what I really, really want is I want to sleep well. I want to have that kind of deep sleep. When I wake up, I'm refreshed without a problem in the world. Do you see the difference? Huge difference. Then be more successful and be healthier. Drink this drink. Oh, let's try this one. Drink this, be healthier, right? What's my top of mind awareness problem? So I want you guys to take a second right now and think of the top of mind awareness problem for your particular audience and write down who is that exact person that you serve. So like for me, I know that my target audience are women who have experienced a level of success, but they've also experienced a level of huge setback. And they know that there's greatness within them, but they keep hitting their head against the ceiling, right? One step forward, two steps back. So when I speak, I'm speaking to the pain of that problem, even though what I sell is sales, right? Even though what I teach is sales and strategy, I'm talking to them about who they're being so that they can be the bigger version of themselves that they want to be, so that the sales and the strategy just all falls into place when they get it. Because mostly they've gotten all of that. Multiple classes, multiple degrees, certifications, all of that stuff. So who's your exact person and what's their top of mind awareness problem? Are they spiritual? Are they not? Do they have kids or not? Is that even important to you? And again, think about this. I want you to really get this in your spirit. Healthy and successful versus, I want to really get a deep sleep and not go to bed without problems on my mind is very different language.
Right.
You've got to be willing to use that language. Shift the way you talk about what you do. All right, number 2. You want to resonate deeply with your own story. See, sometimes it doesn't land because you don't even get it and you don't feel confident about it. So if you're a person that's saying, hey, I'm here to teach you how to be more confident in your business, and then you don't even, in the back of your mind, you're like, whoa, part of me is saying like, I don't even really feel that about myself. It's hard when your language goes out into the world, when your communication goes out, it doesn't land because you're not selling it. You can't be a peak performance coach and walk around with your head held down, right? Most peak performance coaches that I know that are very successful, think Tony Robbins, right? They're pretty big and pretty bold with pulling things out of people and how they show up. Yes? So it's hard to be a money coach when your money is funny. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot be walking through your journey, because you only need to be one step ahead of your client. Right? You don't have to be at the end of the journey. You don't have to be a millionaire to be a money coach. But you need to be selling the part of your story that you're in. I can't tell you how many people are touting being in 6-figure coaches and they've never made 6 figures in their life. I've been in trainings and in rooms with people that say, yeah, I want to do this package called the 6-figure this. And then when you ask them, have you ever earned 6 figures? No, they haven't. Do I feel like you need to earn 6 figures to teach people how to earn 6 figures? No, but you need to be on the path. Because the truth is, if you can teach me how to walk on water and you've never done it before, as long as I get the result, it doesn't matter. But it has to resonate with you. So if you feel some kind of angst about saying that you're a 6-figure coach because you haven't earned 6 figures, your message isn't going to land. But if you know you're on the path, right? Maybe you're making $5,000 a month. That's only $3,000 away from being a 6-figure coach. You can do that. You can make that up in a month, in a weekend. And you know that you can sell it. So it's all about resonating. And it's always going to be some part, who your clients are and what your messaging is going to reflect who you are, who you have been on some point in your journey. It might not be the part you're in right now, but it could be some part that you were in the past. You guys with me?
Yep.
This is how you make your language land, right? Is you really pull that out. Make sure it resonates with yourself so that when you speak it, they feel it. Remember, this is an emotional decision. The decision to hire you is emotional. It's not logical for anyone. Even the logical people make decisions based on emotion. They might need to back it up with more logic than everyone else, but it's purely an emotional decision. You've got to resonate with them. And if you guys have questions that are coming up, I'm going to take questions at the end. The third one is let go of the labels. So let go of the, I have this certification and this fancy title, you know, naming yourself the big chief sales guru, all of that stuff. Just let that go. And what I really want you to focus on, okay, let me just be honest, because I wrote this down in a note, as a note that I forgot because I'm being nice to you guys right now. Let all that stuff go because it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. They really don't. You think people care about your certifications. It's you that cares about it. It's not the client. If you can get them the result, it doesn't matter. I'm watching high school dropouts build million-dollar businesses and help other people that have multi-million-dollar businesses. I've watched it over and over and over again. It's not about your degrees. It's not about your certification. And what you actually want to do is you want to dig into deeply how your skills, your training, your life experience actually is in service to the particular transformation that you provide. So instead of touting the labels and just putting those on business cards and on websites and giving yourself this big fancy name, deeply figure out how all the skills that you have, the path that you've walked in life, how your training really ties into, like deeply, how do you put it all together and package it so that it is amazing? So one of the biggest shifts for me is being open to telling my story and realizing how much of that component, how much of my journey to coming out of the closet as a business owner is a real huge part of the results that I get from my clients and the work that I do with my clients. Alongside of the strategy, that's the biggest shift for me. That's what changed the game for me. And so how can you bring in all that you are into what you do and package it with a nice little bow so that it's not really about the label of who you are, but it's more about who you're being and the result that you can get for your client. So how do all of those things tie into the transformation you provide? And that's what you need to speak of, talk about, YouTube video, live stream, those things. All right, 4. Acknowledge who it is you are here to serve and lead. Acknowledge who it is you are here to serve and lead. Let me see what notes I have for this. So I kind of already talked about this. Who you're here to serve and lead, if you haven't figured out who your target audience is, how you should niche down, they're almost always a reflection of who you are at some point of your journey, of you. Who you're here to serve and lead is almost always a reflection of you at some point in your journey. Even if we just look at, let's say you're a web designer. Well, at some point, or you help people with sales funnels or web design, that kind of thing. At some point, you didn't understand it. At some point, it was overwhelming to you. Maybe, right? So maybe who you're looking for are people that are at that stage in their journey. At some point, you knew how to put everything together where it clicked. Maybe you're looking for people who are at that stage in their journey. So acknowledging who it is you are here to serve and to lead is really important because you're really narrowing in on a target audience that's going to resonate with your message well, who's going to connect with you well, but you're also going to be able to guide them in ways that just giving them a strategy won't be able to guide them because you know what they're feeling as they're going through each step. Like I can tell when people in my tribe begin to hide that they're bumping up against their own stuff. When they get quiet, because I've done that. So when you get quiet, when you don't show up to calls, when you're not posting in the group, I know that you're in something. You're in some sort of mess for yourself. Some little thing is sitting on the side of your head telling you you're not enough. You can't do it. You don't have enough information. You're not ready. And you're trying to maneuver through that alone, because that's the other thing that I would do. I can figure it out by myself and not reach out for help. And so what does Shamika do? I send a little message and say, how are you? And then I get the story.
I don't want it.
So again, for you,
I don't want it.
acknowledge who it is you're here to serve, so that as you serve them, you already walk the path. Let me see where that's coming from, because I can't.
Yeah. I'll try to get it down. I honestly don't want it. I probably should have drank it like first thing this morning.
There we go. All right. I don't know who that is. What was I saying? So acknowledge who you're here to serve, because you're going to get more powerful results, and you're going to be able to speak to them more powerfully in your language, because you understand the chatter that's going on in their mind and in their brains already. Does that make sense? You hear the chatter because you've been through it already. And then here's the fifth and final one, and then we're going to go through how to find clients right now. Okay, so you want to really identify the transformation that you bring people through. So this isn't really about you just saying, hey, I help people make more money in their business, right? Because there's a more deeper level than just make more money in their business. So for me, if I use myself as an example, again, it's about shifting how my clients show up in the world, which in turn helps them to reach more people, be more confident in their conversations with people, which in turn leads to more yeses to working with them, which in turn leads to more money and revenue in their business. So what's the real transformation that you bring people through? What's the real results? Let me look and see if I had any extra notes on this. The one thing that I wanted to bring out to you guys is this. Understanding and knowing that there are people in the world that are hungry and actually searching for what you provide. And you have to connect to that deep desire that you have. So know that there's people looking for your solution right now. And for some of you, you're holding off on making offers because you're thinking you have to get stuff together. All the knowledge that you have inside of you, we're just trying to put that into a format and a structure. But if you had to sit down with someone and they came to you with a problem, you could walk them through it hands down. So there are people who want that information, who want that strategy, who want the knowledge and the wisdom that you provide, and they are hungrily waiting for you to step up and say, hey, I have that solution. But you've got to be able to connect to their deep desire. What's the conversation they're having in their head, and be able to show them how you're walking them from point A to point B. Yes? All right, I'm gonna go back up to the top because I put some little bonus things in here about how to get clients even when you're broke. So I'm gonna show you a little trick that works really, really well. And I've been doing this whether I'm in networking events, if I network and speak, this strategy actually works really, really well for bringing clients to you. Social media posts, whether you're doing video or live stream, you'll start to see me use it more and more. But it has been the #1 reason why when I stand up at a networking group and talk, or in a group of people and talk about what I do, that it draws people to me. Here's what hasn't really worked for me in the past. No matter how hard I've tried, building an email list and emailing doesn't work, okay? Cold calling, it doesn't work. Advertising doesn't work, right? Doesn't work without a budget. You have to have a budget to advertise. So how do you get more clients when you don't have money? How do you get more clients when you don't have the revenue yet to bring clients to you? You haven't mastered doing Facebook ads, all of those kind of things. What do you do? So the first thing you want to do is find people who are already looking for you. A lot of times when I have conversations with business owners who are looking for more sales, they are trying to educate people on why they need what they offer. They're trying to change a conversation. You want to find people who are already on the precipice of making a decision to move towards doing something that you do. So My clients are looking for more clients. How do I know that they're looking for more clients? I find them in droves in places where people are seeking more clients. On my sales agency side, I'm helping people get more clients and traffic into their business. So with that in mind, I can go to places like online, if I go to like Monster or go to Upwork or go to even Craigslist and see people have put ads for people to do lead management for them or client acquisition, or they're looking for a sales trainer. I'm looking for people who already have top of mind awareness. They're in search for this. They're looking for an employee, but now I can send them something to say I have a solution to the problem. So where are your clients in masses that already have the problem that you solve? So find people who are looking for you. So going back to Verna as an example, all day long she can go to people and try to convince them why they need to do pre-need preparation or planning. But if they've not yet experienced death in their family, it's so far away that it's a long haul. She's got to teach and educate, here's what might happen. But if she were to just go to places where people have already experienced loss, her sales conversion is going to go up. You know, there's support groups for people who have experienced death. How about going and doing a presentation to one of those? Because they've already experienced it. They already know what it's like, and they probably don't ever want to go through it again, but they might not even know that her solution exists to help them avoid that pain. So where are your people in masses that are already looking for you? How do you find them? Audrey, the same with you. I think Monster, Upwork, and Craigslist would work great for you to find people that are already looking for you, looking for your solution, because you know the problem that they have. They're going to be posting on there that they're looking for someone to support them in that way. Probably work for you too, Joe. Even though I don't know what you're doing quite now. Maneuver through a few things. Actually, all of you guys that I'm looking at, that strategy would work well for you, because your branding, you guys mostly deal with businesses. How cool would it be to find a group of people looking to spend money on what you offer already, who already have a budget, and maybe your offering is lower? If they're looking to hire a full-time employee and you can come in on a 90-day, 6-month, 12-month contract and take care of that for them. I mean, think about it. Hire an employee, you got to pay benefits, taxes, all of those things. And most of those job descriptions, their salaries are pretty hefty. So we're talking a minimum of $20,000 in a year. You can come in with a $15,000 package and swoop it up and get a result. All right, so step 1 is find people who are already looking for you. Step 2, solve a problem for free. So I talked about this earlier. When you meet these people, solve their problem for free. So I'm going to give you a couple of strategies. So yeah, you can offer a strategy session, right? Of course, we don't call them strategy sessions. This is your branded name program that you're going to offer them. You can offer it for free or for fee. That's up to you. Depends on how great of a salesperson you are, right? Sometimes offering it for a fee, make sure that you have somebody who's serious to work with you, and then get a result during that strategy session. Show them how you can help them solve a problem, and again, a tip or a strategy to solve a specific problem right on that call. You got to solve a problem for free first, because they need to know that you're serious business, that you know what you're talking about, that you know how to get them a result. It can be an ebook. Not my recommended method, because people don't normally read those, and you have no way of tracking whether or not they've read them or how far they've gone through them. You can track whether or not they open the message or click through the link, but you can't track if they actually consume the information to get the result. Webinar, that's trackable, right? And again, if I go back to the speaking thing, You don't just teach, hey, you need to speak, and here's why you need to speak, and here's how you want to make money. Teach them how to craft their signature talk. Give them a result, solve a problem, but also let them know that there's 5 other problems behind that that you can help them with. And the structure that I've given you guys helps you to do that. Video analysis. So this is where you go in. So somebody like Joe can go into somebody's website and on video say, hey, if you did this, 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 and this, and this to your website, here's the problem. Here's why you're not getting a lot of traffic. Here's why you're not getting a lot of leads. We need to turn this website into a lead generation machine. Here's the things that you need to do. I've done this for somebody before. Here was their result. I'd like to do it for you. Right? And you can do that all on video by tweaking around. Heck, you can even create the new lead page for them so they can see what it would look like and then tell them the result that you got for another client. Solve a problem for free. Already brand it for them. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time for you to do that, but through lead pages, it's quick, right? And then in this video, you show them their website and then you show them what actually works and how it worked for someone else, right? And send it to them and let them view it. I actually had a client who's actually a friend and a colleague who did video analysis for like attorneys and other walk-in businesses. And what she would do is she would show them how using a video and posting it all over places in YouTube could bring traffic to their website and more people into their business. And what she would do is she would just take a little bit of time and create one for them for it would be like a 1 minute, 30-second to 1 minute video. And she'd send it to them for free. Tell them how to use it, they use it, and then she'd get them for other marketing strategies and things. Show them how to do it in a bigger way. So video analysis is a really good way, especially if you're doing business to business, like with corporations or walk-in businesses. The last one, solving a problem for free, is your power talk. So I kind of talked about that earlier. When you do your talk, when you go speak, you want to make sure that when you're speaking, you're solving a problem, okay? Even if you're broad stroking and overviewing your signature system, in one of those steps in your system, you want to go deeper in it so that you actually solve a problem for them that they could implement if they wanted to, while still opening the door and letting them know that there's these other 3 steps that you need to do, but you have this right now. Right? So if I use speaking as an example, they craft their signature talk, they still need to know how to book gigs, and then your offer should help them with those other things, how to book gigs, how to have, a freebie to give away, all of those things, how to structure it. What else can I think of? How to make an offer inside of the strategy session. So while I told you the offer goes here, I didn't go through how to make the offer. In this package, I'm going to show you step by step how to make the offer that has people lining up at the back of the room to pay for your stuff. So make sure your talk actually solves a problem. So step 2, solve a problem for free. And then this is where I'm going to ask you guys to get a little brave, get a little bold, become Superman, Superwoman, and do something that most of you are not doing, and that is toot your own freaking horn. Yeah? Because it actually doesn't repel clients, it brings clients to you. Let me show you a powerful way how to do it. Create a success story. So if you already have success stories, that's great. Now we want to get it out there. So you want to document and share your results, if possible, on camera. And then when you do it, ask for help. Okay? If you only have testimonials, that's fine. But if you can get some of those people to jump on a call with you and do like a 3 or 5 minute chat about the results that they got, and then just keep those videos going out into the world, and then saying, hey, if you want this result too, go to this domain or whatever, hit me up, send me a PM direct message because I don't have a sales page, whatever the case may be. Start touting your success. If you don't have it on video and you can't get the client on the phone with you to do like a Google Hangouts or something like that, then what you want to do is you want to just post in Facebook or on social media. Whenever you create a success story, share that client's success. And for those of you who don't really know how you can share that success, if you send me a message, so direct message me, I will send you a structure that's not salesy, spammy, or cheesy, of how to post on social media your success stories so that it gets results and gets people asking you, hey, can I talk to you? But you need to be doing this on a regular basis. Even if you're just saying, I'm so proud of my client XYZ for doing this. Because you're getting results with people and you're hush-hush about it, hoping that clients are going to come, but people are drawn to people who get results. Here's what I found, even in the playground, because in the playground, there's people in the playground who aren't clients yet, or they might have bought something very small and they're in there. When you guys post like you're a success from doing a speaking engagement, I undoubtedly get 1 to 2 people in my inbox saying, hey, can we do a strategy session? Because they see that my clients are moving along where they're still stuck, or getting a result that they want, that they desire, that they don't have. So the more that you can put these success stories out there, if you want clients this week, follow this formula. First, go to areas where your clients are in masses, and make your offer to people who are already looking for you instead of people that you have to educate why they need you. Solve a problem for them for free, right? Find a bunch of people and say, look, I'm doing 10 of these sessions, 5 of these sessions. I think last year I did 100. I had a goal to do 100 strategy sessions in 30 days or 60 days or something like that. I was just doing them over and over and over again. Solve problems for free. Don't mean give your business away for free. There's a difference. And then create success stories and get them out there on a regular basis. This should be part of your normal strategy for what you're doing. So here's the challenge that I want to give you this week, and then I'm going to open up for questions. Your challenge for the week is to clarify who you're here to serve and clarify the transformation that you provide. So I have 3 challenges for you. So clarify who you serve, clarify the transformation you provide. The biggest challenge is this. I want you guys to put step 3 out there, and I want to see it on social media. I want you to tag me and then tag Supernova Sales School. So this right here, create a success story and share your results. That's the biggest challenge, because I know for most of you guys, that's where you're stuck. I want to see you post a success story in some sort of social media format. Post it on Facebook and tag me in your post. Not inside the group where you can secretly say, here's my little thing, because people do that all the time. On your own personal page. And not just on your business page, because only 5 people are seeing that. And that's if you have 1,000 subscribers, maybe 5 people are seeing it. If you don't have 1,000, if you have 100, then nobody's seeing it. A half a person seeing it, maybe. All right, so I'm going to open up for questions. Anybody got questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes with the testimonials, I feel like people, how we kind of talked about this before, but they give you like vague testimonials, or they don't want to talk about money or the results because they feel like their before is going to make them look bad or something. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess it's like, how do you deal with that?
2 ways. One, I either write the testimonial for the person, or give them structured questions to answer that you can formulate into a testimonial yourself.
Okay, perfect.
So I might say, what was your business like before?
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically, and be specific. Tell me, what was your revenue, or what were you charging? Because I deal a lot with what people charge, because people go from charging like $100 an hour to charging, $3,000 for a VIP day, or $5,000 for a VIP day, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is only like 4 hours for most people, is way more than they would have made. So I ask specific questions. So the first one is like, what was it like before? And tell them how specific you want them to be, right? Mm-hmm. What did we do that made the hugest impact for you? Mm-hmm. And like, what would you tell somebody else who was in your situation?
Okay, perfect.
And what's the result now?
Perfect.
Like, what's
Okay.
life and business like now? So those are like the top 4 questions that I'll ask. So either question or write it for them.
Okay.
And then with that question, you can reformat it into any way that you want to. You can pull, what pieces out of that you want to use. A good structure for just putting a testimonial out there is to bullet it where it's like, before this strategy that we implemented, and then just talk about your strategy, like what step in your system did you use, right? We used she started using the iServe selling conversation formula, right? And then from that, what was the result? And then what's her feedback that she wants to tell everybody else? And you can do it in that format also.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. This is kind of a silly question. So sometimes people want to give me testimonials, and I'm like, but you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything that I taught you,
So you turn down their testimonial? I get testimonials from people like that all the time. But I'm like, well, what do you want to talk about? And they really have great testimonials. Like they've gotten a lot out of it. They know that, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, but they still want to say, hey, you do what you do. And here's what I could be doing if I were doing the work, kind of thing.
Okay. Because I guess I feel like, is that going to make me look bad if someone looks them up and they're not doing anything?
Yeah. I mean, I do look up people sometimes and I'm like, what is this person doing? But you don't have to use the testimonial, or you can use it. Like I have, let me go to my website real quick. My new website's almost ready too, by the way.
Yay.
Some fun things with launching it. So be on the lookout for that. I would love for you guys to help me build some buzz and get the word out. But I'm gonna do some contests where I give away services and some things like that. But I had somebody that I really respected paid them to look at my website, and they actually did not pay them to look at my copy, and they absolutely didn't make any changes to anything that I did.
Wow.
I just paid you all that money for nothing. They were like, no, they were like, this is effing awesome. I was like, oh shoot. So anyway, so I'm excited about it, excited about getting it out there. And like you guys, I also have times where I discount my own genius and what I do, because I write copy for my clients all the time. But whenever I'm doing it for myself, I feel like I'm, for lack of better terms, sorry if I offended anybody, but I'm kind of retarded. So I'm like, I don't know if this is right, or this doesn't look good. And so I just put it out there. And to me, I'm like, it could be tweaked a little bit, but I just want to let you know I'm on the same page here. All right. So ShamikaTankerson.com.
Well, you can tweak it a little bit and then test it.
Yeah, I could, but I'd be doing that all day. I'm like, it's like an artist, right? Or a musician. It's never done. Okay, so I want to show you guys this. So you can take a testimonial, and instead of using the person's testimonial, what am I trying to do? I'm clicking the wrong thing. I want to share my screen. Powerful sales training. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
So see at the bottom? Let me pull it up to the top. So instead of using it as a testimonial, you can just pull out their results. 14 new clients, 29K one day, 10K made every month, 25% beyond sales goal. You can pull out whatever you want, right? To highlight that testimonial without having to put the person's name and their website on there. Because the name and the website thing, it's like a give and take. That's me kind of blessing my clients with visibility. So that's reserved for either high-level clients or people that have gotten an extreme result. Because people who go there are going to click over to their website, or they might hire them for things. So I don't do that for everyone. So these are some testimonials that are not, people that I would send over to the website. Maybe they brought me in to do one thing, or they just heard me teach something on a webinar and they got that result. They didn't even hire me, right? So those clients don't get testimonial space. They just get this little blurb.
Got it. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Any other questions? Are you done, Uma? You complete?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else? Did I just overwhelm you with too much info? I tried not to. Okay. Do you guys feel like you've gotten something today that's going to help you shift what you're doing or make an impact in your business? No. You suck. Never do another Supernova Sales School again. Okay. Who's up for the challenge? I want you to type in the Facebook group, I'm up for the challenge. And the challenge is to post testimonial. If you need a format for doing a social media post without video, then inbox me and I will send you that. But other than that, I'd like to see a video, preferably with a client side by side with you on a Google Hangout or a Zoom, where you guys just talk about, hey, so let's talk about what was going on before and what was going on after and what you have now, and then post it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do one because I challenged you guys to do one. How about that? So if I send you a message and say, I want to do a video with you, you don't get to tell me no. All right. If you're up for the challenge, I want to see you post in the Facebook group. I'm up for the challenge. Let's see. Who's up? I got to go back through these and look at them. Am I just moving slow? I got nothing. You guys aren't leaving until somebody says yes.
I'm doing it. I just having it. My computer's just slow to open Facebook and this at the same time. It's really slow.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Myrna. Woo woo. That's one. Audrey. Joe. Maybe it was just my computer. Running real slow. All right. Awesome. So basically, you guys have a week. This is a fast challenge, so not a slow challenge where you can take 30 days. So within the next week, I want to see you on your page, tag me, use the same hashtags, Supernova Sales School, Power Player, Play Big, Get Paid. Got it? Write that down. Supernova Sales School hashtag, Play Big, Get Paid, Power Player. I'm just going to assume that Umwa's challenge is coming. And you're going to post these on your personal pages so people can judge you. No, they're not going to judge you. But I know that's the conversation you're having in your mind. It's like people are going to say, what am I, who do they think they are? Nobody cares. You bragging or what? Somebody actually posted that on one of my posts. I know they were just kidding, but they were like, are you bragging or are you complaining? I was like, neither, but I could pop my collar a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go. This was really fun for me. Language is so important. Language is a huge component. You guys know that I believe that your voice is the most powerful income creation tool on the planet. There's Umwa. Welcome. Her post just hit. Your voice is the most powerful income creation tool on the planet. When you master language, when you master communication, when you master your voice, that's when you're going to master your life. So I want you to be aware of how you talk about what you do and who you talk about it with so that you can increase your revenue, increase your leads, and increase your clients. Yeah? All right, guys. I'll see you on the next Supernova Sales School. For those of you who are Play Big, Get Paid, we have a action and implementation call Monday. All right. Oh, and Next Level Authority. Forgot about that. All right, guys. I'll see you later. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.